I recently did a video tribute of Fela Kuti, one of Africa's most influential musicians of the 20th century, and the response was amazing. But it included interesting comments. Someone wrote, "He's not Nigerian, he's Yoruba." Another asked, "What about the Igbos?" And that got me thinking, how do we reduce this Pan-African icon to his ethnic heritage? As a non-Nigerian, I don't see Yoruba, Igbo, or Hausa. I see Nigerians, a hardworking community of some 200 million people.
You see, this right here is the new national pastime. Not football, not innovation, not nation building, but ethnic pettiness. So, congratulations. You have managed to take tribalism to the export level. Your pettiness has crossed the borders. Now, even people outside Nigeria are noticing your foolishness. You see, a country of over 250 million people, and yet some of you have reduced your entire existence to tribal scorekeeping. Every disagreement, every debate, every success or failure filtered through the narrow lens of my tribe versus yours. You see, I have said this before, and I'll say it again to these Ife-centric propagandists and bigots. Your little circus act might thrill the crowd in your echo chambers. It might impress your gullible followers, but history will record you for what you are. You parade around distorting other people's history, spitting on cultures you barely understand, and crowning yourselves with a supremacy you never end. Some of you have even made it your life's work to distort other tribes' history, denigrating them at every turn and casting aspersion on anything that doesn't glorify you. You create accounts, TikTok accounts, X accounts, even fake ones, just to troll other people's ethnicity. Scroll through your pages, and that's all you do. No culture building, no intellectual contribution, no unifying vision, just a daily diet of tribal venom. You rely on a gullible fan base to clap while you insult, fabricate, and gaslight, as if our silence would be consent. But let me make it plain. Edo history is not your plaything. Africa's history is not a canvas for your vanity. Every lie you tell might give you a cheap cheer today, but it's chiseling your legacy into the stone of dishonesty. And while you think you are fooling us, the world, scholars, observers, and anyone with a working conscience is watching you. They see exactly who is disingenuous, dishonest, bigoted, and hell-bent on rewriting history to feed an ego that should have been starved long ago. Just a couple of months ago, Chiamanda Ngozi Adichie, right? She published a book on Amazon. And instead of engaging with the content like reasonable adults, some of you organized a mass downrating campaign. Instead of writing a thoughtful review, you mobilized like it's a World Cup final to tank her rating on Amazon. Not because of the book, but because she's not from your ethnic group. Bravo, truly, bravo is groundbreaking behavior. In fact, UNESCO should come and study you. Congratulations. And when people point out how ridiculous that is, Ife-centric bigots came out in full regalia to defend it. Honestly, some of you act like your culture is so fragile that one woman's book could cause it to collapse overnight. This is insecurity. You projecting your insecurity. Come on, let's be honest. This isn't pride. This isn't protecting heritage. This isn't protecting heritage. This is insecurity on steroids. And it's doing more damage to Nigeria's image than you realize. Because while the rest of the country is trying to survive inflation, insecurity, and bad governance, you are here sharpening tribal knives to stab people you have never met.
There is a map. I follow an illustration. There is a map. If you check that map and you are looking for the word Benin people are foolish, you will never find it in that map. If you check the map and you're looking for the phrase Oba of Benin is an idiot, you will never find such statements in that map. No insult on Benin. Benin Oba is mad. Never, you will find it there. He's crazy. Benin kingdom are idiot. No.
Nigeria is bleeding from insecurity, corruption, bad governance, poverty. And instead of uniting against the things that actually threaten us, you are clinging to Fela like a drowning man to driftwood, as if his personal genius somehow translates into collective intelligence for everyone who can say Surulere, everyone who is called Abiola. Here's the truth. No tribe is better than the other. No culture is perfect. And the world doesn't care about your internal squabbles. They just see one big dysfunctional family that can't get its act together. So keep it up. If your goal is to be remembered as the generation that took Nigerian tribalism from a local embarrassment to a global export, fine. If that's your goal, keep it up. But the rest of us, we have already chosen integrity, honesty, and trust me, history will remember the difference. We understand it's not every fool that deserves a seat at the table. Some are only useful as examples of what ignorance looks like in public. And voila.
He's not Nigerian, he's Yoruba. Another asks, what about the Igbos? And that got me thinking, how do we reduce this Pan-African icon to his ethnic heritage? As a non-Nigerian, I don't see Yoruba, Igbo, or Hausa. I see Nigerians, a hardworking community of some 200 million people.
That's it. So again, congratulations. But at the end of the day, outside these comment sections, history still remembers who the world wrote about and who had to be written in by missionaries and translators. Because here's the bigger picture. While you're busy clawing for a false crown and mangling the history of people whose wars, bronzes, and legacy still stand as proof, the real looters of Africa's wealth are laughing in foreign boardrooms. And if we keep playing this tribal game, the only thing we will inherit is the title of the people who fought each other while losing everything. So to every African at home or abroad, your first loyalty is to truth, dignity, and the survival of our heritage, not to petty borders drawn by colonial hands, not to petty supremacy battles. Because we've seen this play before. The sudden elevation of kingship where there was none. The convenient upgrading of royal statues after the fall of Benin, and the overnight invention of a holy city or cradle of humanity that somehow escaped centuries of records until the 19th century. We saw how a purely religious head somewhere was repackaged as the supreme political leader of an entire tribe, and how smaller chiefs in Lagos and beyond who were never called Obas suddenly adopt the title after Ovonramwen's exile. That's not heritage. That's historical cosplay. Our enemies are not the ones who share our skin. They are the ones who profit from our division and from these fabrications that cheapen our real history. From Benin to Bamako, from Lagos to Luanda, our ancestors did not build walls, carve bronzes, and resist invaders so their descendants could be reduced to online tribal warriors. The Edo story, African story, deserves better. And when history turns its final page, may it say we were the generation that buried tribal bigotry, not the fools who embalmed it with counterfeit crowns and invented origin stories. Stop all this nonsense. Have a great day.